If you shave using a razor and use a gel or a foam from a can, you probably run into the problem that is if you leave the can on the ceramic surface of your wash basin in your bathroom, it leaves nasty rust rings. These stains are pretty much impossible to remove from the ceramic once they get there, and even the A brands like Gillette use cans made of steel that are not properly coated. Now, about a year and a half ago, I built myself a 3D printer from a kit, and one of the things I use it for is to fix simple annoyances like this one. So I searched on the internet for designs of devices to prevent such rust rings. And sure enough, there are many to be found. I like this one in particular, which I found on Thingiverse from a user Ricochet. And I liked it in particular because it's a minimalistic design. So if you look at the shape, there are no horizontal surfaces, there are no unnecessary features in the design itself, and there are plenty of air gaps for the water to get out, and also for air to move around freely so that the last droplets can evaporate easily. Now the shaving can that the original design is made for is supposed to be 57.6 millimeters outside diameter, but the can that I'm using is slightly smaller. So before printing the model, I scaled it down to 93%, and as I will show you later, you don't need to get this number really precise. At first I thought, because I'll be using this in a bathroom, I better print it in ABS and not a biodegradable material like PLA. But as it turns out, the time the PLA will take to decay will be a few tens of years. That's way more than what I need. So basically ABS will be good, but PLA should work just as well. Now these drainage arches in the design call for supports, so I set my slicer software, Craftware in this case, to generate a brim and to generate support for surfaces which are steeper than 70 degrees, and slice the model with a 0.2mm layer height. Because the 5 feet in the design are so narrow, the brim really helps to get these to stick to the bed. About 30 minutes later, the printer is finished printing and we can take out the ring and try it on with the can. Now if you're lucky, the ring should just snap onto your shaving foam can. However, it might be a little bit too small or a little bit too large, and it's quite easy to tweak it afterwards, so after printing, to actually get it to fit snugly onto your can. The way you do this is quite simple. All you need is a pot of boiling water, and what you can do is dip the ring that you just printed into this boiling water, which will soften it, and it will also have a natural tendency to shrink a little bit. You can of course use the can itself as a mold and get this ring to expand a little bit if it's been printed too small, and this will make for a really snug fit which you can tweak to your heart's content. Now I've printed many such rings in the last months. 3 of these I've used for my own shaving cans, and I've given out also quite a few to friends and colleagues, and they are all quite happy with it, as am I. So big thanks, shout out to Ricochet on Thingiverse for designing this, and if you also print this design for yourself, make sure to post photos of it and your experiences with it down below. No more rust rings in my bathrooms. I only wish that the design departments of shaving foam manufacturing companies would have thought of this up front.